Today, Baba is talking about the fortune of seva. And Baba says that having the fortune of seva is having the highest fortune. And Baba tells us that the only true service, the only true seva is spiritual seva. And we are the children who have the ability to do spiritual seva because we now understand the knowledge. We have the knowledge, and we also have we also know the method of Raj Yoga. And you see, these days, people are constantly talking about the importance of yoga, the importance of meditation, and everybody is interested in learning how to meditate. I was talking to some souls who are not introduced to Gyan yesterday, and I was just asking them what do they do for their spiritual practice. So they said, we keep looking for, what is the method to meditate, or we keep looking for answers about who are we, or what should we do. And I was just thinking, you see, everybody has a quest for knowing how to meditate and knowing the truth about who they are, who is God, and what to do, what not to do. And Baba says, you are the children who know the path, who know the truth, who can share this truth. And you are the children who can teach them Raj Yoga, who can really teach them how to remember Baba by considering themselves to be a soul. We are the children who can introduce them to Baba. And Baba says that is why every child has the fortune to do seva. And but seva is not something that it can be done just like that. For seva, you need centers, and introducing somebody to Baba means introducing somebody to the center, because just by giving introduction 1 day or 5 days, so why do we say everybody needs to give this introduction? Because introduction to when you introduce Baba to somebody, it means that you tell them that Baba has come and Baba is teaching us every day through the centers. And introducing somebody to Baba means introducing them to the center. And when they get in touch with the center, only then can they have continuous sustenance from Baba, because it is not a 1 day thing or a 2 day thing. Just think about how we are being sustained all through the day. Just think about, even these days, just like, there is so much, so much pull from Maya, then even one class a day is not sufficient. And that is why, these days, I took it on myself that, we should have one Murli and one Manthan every day. And then, you keep getting some messages, and then there are programs for yoga so that we can have Numasham or we can have Amrit Vela together. So all of these arrangements are made, and then you also need to connect with the family and be with the BK family, whether virtually or physically, but you need to connect so that you can progress on this path. So basically, seva means seva is done through centers, and introducing somebody to Baba means introducing somebody to the center, which gives sustenance, gives Baba sustenance. And Baba says that is why seva means introducing people to the centers, and seva means opening centers. Because as many centers are open, that much of seva can be done. And seva is a very continuous thing that has to be done constantly. So, opening centers is also what Baba encourages us. Now, Baba says that when you open centers, so there are many children who offer to Baba, who have, uh, who offered to Baba that we are willing to open a center. And when you live in a household, then you open a center in that household and you offer that, I am willing to do Baba's seva in this household. But Baba says that zeal everybody needs to have, that enthusiasm that I want to do service through body, mind, wealth, and through thought, word, and act. That zeal has to be there, because you see, when you open a center, then it's not just about giving classes or reading the Murli. It's also about, spending money. It's also about, because all the arrangements have to be made, and it's a recurring cost, and then you have to be willing to take the responsibility of that seva. So you see, there are many children who open centers in their place, and then a sister goes and conducts classes there, and then those Baba's children, sometimes they also conduct classes when the sister is not there, or there's a sister who goes and conducts class, and then all the arrangements, the responsibilities of the arrangements, the responsibility of keeping that place clean, the responsibility of ensuring that there is enough for offering bhog to Baba and other things. So these responsibilities have to be taken. So body, mind, and wealth has to be, invested. And then second thing is thought, word, and act. Because when there's a center running in your place, then obviously you are the showpiece of the showcase. So your thought, word, and act has to be pure, has to be knowledgeful, so that you can serve with your personality, with your being. And if your thought, word, and act is not proper, and you are riddled with vices, then you cannot open a center in your place. And the most important thing is, if there is a conflict in your place, so you cannot have disagreements and conflicts in the place a center is opening. So when there is a conflict, then the energy of the conflict is very heavy. And then second thing is, if you're fighting and quarreling among yourselves, then how will you do seva? So I will tell you one incident. So when Baba's center started here, then initially, so we were in a very small place on rent, and then there was a Mata, and she came and she did the course, and then that Mata was living alone, and she had a big place. She had a big house which was hers, and then she offered that, why are you people paying rent here? Why don't you move in with me? So you just move in with me, and then that place is very big, so we can have, the hall for the class, and we can have Baba's room also, and we can have everything, and we can do seva together. So I was very young, and I was not very experienced, and that's why, Baba says you should always have somebody you can consult, because if you don't have somebody to take advice from, then it becomes difficult. So I asked my senior sister that this is the offer, and this Mata is offering that you can run this seva in my place. And then the senior sister, she said, how long has that Mata been in Gyan? So I said, she's been coming for 6 months. So she said, no, no, you don't move in with her right now. So you just, you just hold your breath and don't get too excited, and just stay where you are. It's okay. Even if we are paying rent, it's okay. So I said, okay, fine. So you see, there has to be, so one has to take advice and then also listen to that advice, because otherwise there's no point. So then I said, okay, and I just stopped thinking about it. And then 3 months passed, 4 months passed, and then Mata would keep telling me. But I had been told that don't be in a hurry. So I just told her, you keep coming to class, keep understanding Baba. And then after 6 months, that Mata stopped coming to class. And then after some days, I inquired why she stopped coming to class. So actually, it had so happened that her daughter and her son-in-law came to know that this Mata was planning to run a center in her place, and they got so annoyed that this property will go away, that they just had a big fight with her, and then they stopped her from going to the center also. And then I was just thinking, what if we had shifted and then this had happened? And then where would we go, looking for a new place overnight? And it would have been so chaotic. And you see, this is why Baba says that when you open a center, and even if somebody gets upset about it, you don't have to care for them. So you have to be that strong headed, and then you don't have to have conflict inside, because if you are not in a position of authority, and who is in a position of authority, it's not whether you're the man or the woman or the earning member or the not earning member of the family, but if you have that willpower, then you can put an end to that conflict and have your say. And if you can't have your say, and that conflict goes on, then that conflict will do a lot of disservice, because even if you don't care for somebody, they will go around telling people that this happened and that happened, and there'll be a lot of disservice. So instead of that, we have to understand that in order to do seva, you have to have a lot of that sense of authority, and you have to have that willpower so that you can open a center in your place. And there are many children who want to, but then there shouldn't be any conflict, and especially amongst husband and wife, if one partner is in conflict, then they would create chaos and ruckus, and then that's a place for peace. So we don't want that there. And then second thing, Baba says, don't care about people who taunt you or who are not on the same page with you, because if you care about them, then one day you make one decision and second day you back out, and that way seva can't be done. And do you understand how much of the burden of disservice falls on those who take a step and then step back? So that is also there. So Baba tells all these things, and then Baba explains that you cannot say that I will open the center and then you do all the expense. So expenses have to be taken care of, because there are many children who say, I have a place and then I'll give it to you, and you do seva. But then that place is not enough. It's not just one place, but there are so many expenses, the water bill, the electricity bill, and other things that have to be arranged in the place, then who will take care of all of that? So one has to be willing to take the responsibility of that seva. And I remember in Sakar Baba's time, there was one brother and he offered his place for seva. And then sisters went and they stayed in that place, and they started doing seva. And he never asked whether there is grain in the house also. He never asked whether there's dal, chawal, or atta or anything in the house. And those sisters were literally starving. And then Brahma Baba brought all of them back. So you see, this is not the way seva is done. And save responsibility for seva doesn't mean that I will give this much. No, just the house is not enough. You have to invest your body, mind, wealth, time, thought, energy. And then you see, there are other episodes also I've seen, like let's say you become the instrument for opening a center, but then you have so much conflict inside that you are not allowed to take a single class. So let's say the Brahmani is not present one day, and then you are asked to take the class that day, and you say that my husband will get very angry and I cannot take the class. Then what do we do? That Brahmani has to get stuck there. So there you have to become a full hand if you want to do seva. And then Baba says that you want to, and any seva, when it is done in a group. So seva cannot be done individually. Seva requires a group of people. It requires a team. And in that team, Baba says, you have to be each other's helpers, and there has to be no conflict in the team so that you can take care of that seva properly. And if there is no team and no everybody is not willing to put in their contribution, then then you will not create the fortune of that seva. So Baba says these things, and you see, even when one center runs, every child contributes to that center. Only then that center runs. Yes, so if children are not willing to contribute to a center, then how will the fortune of seva be created, or how will the seva even go well? And sometimes people think that centers are funded by Madhuban. So there are people in the world who think that the operations of the centers are managed by money that comes from Madhuban. But Baba today says that why are you there if I have to, if Madhuban has to take care of all the expenses, then what is the role of the children in the center? So that the center belongs to the children, and then the children have to pitch in. It's not like Baba will take care of everything and then we will only come and attend the class and go away. That's not how centers run. And Baba says whenever there is a center, you see, Baba says it has to be given in writing how much every child is willing to do, and every child has a commitment towards the center. And we make a list of those children who are there are pillars of this center, and every center runs with that foundation of that group of children who are pitching in. And then those children, there is a list of them, and then there is a contribution that every child makes, and it is a recurring contribution. And when that willingness is there, and then we submit it, we submit those accounts that so many children are there and they are taking care of seva, only then there is this dignity that yes, you are the one handling that seva, and you are the one creating fortune. Otherwise, if you're always telling Baba that, Baba help me or Madhuban help me. Of course, Baba helps. Without Baba's help, nothing is happening. But where is your first step of courage? And, I remember there was this one sister, and her elder sister, she said that you are not operating the center properly. So you stay in a bigger center, and I cannot give you the responsibility of running a center. So then the sister cried and she told me, I have 100 students. And then this sister is telling me that don't run this center. So I said, you have 100 students, and then how much are those 100 students contributing to the expenses of the center? So she said, nobody is contributing, only one or two. So I said, then you have only 1, 2 students. Then there are all those 98 are just crowd. They are not students. Students are responsible. So that way, the whole of the world is Baba's child. Not that way. But really becoming Baba's child is taking care of the seva, and those are counted as children of Baba. So, children means right hand, those who take responsibility. And then Baba says that when you give it in writing, and, even when centers are open, so for example, when expansion of centers takes place, or you need to buy a new place or anything, then how do you get the approval for that? When children give it in writing that I will contribute this much or that much, and children are brought together and they are asked, how much are you willing to do? And then there's a figure we arrive at, and then we tell our seniors that yes, this much we are able to muster. And then maybe some senior will help also, that okay, if you are bringing in this much, then we will also give this much as a blessing. But then if you don't have any courage yourself, then how will Baba help? And Baba says, if this is the way things have to be, then I can do seva on my own. Then why are you there? So, and the interesting thing is, why are we doing seva? Yes, why are we doing seva? Not because Baba wants it or needs it. We are doing seva because seva creates our fortune. And seva is not what it looks like, Do you think that if Baba wanted to reveal himself to everybody, he couldn't do it in a second? Do you really think that? It would take one sakshatkar, and the whole world will know that this Baba has come here. So it's not that Baba needs us to reveal himself to his children all over the world. No, it's not that. This seva is not done for actually revealing Baba. Revealing Baba can be done by Baba himself in a second. This seva is done because seva creates the fortune of that one who becomes the instrument for seva. So, whatever we are doing, we are creating our fortune, because we have to go to Satyug. So Baba says, when you introduce people to the center, when you become the instrument for opening centers, then basically what are you doing? You are creating your own fortune, and Baba is giving us that opportunity to create a fortune. And this is an opportunity that didn't exist earlier. Earlier, even if people wanted to do something good, what option did they have? Just donating to vicious souls. There was no godly seva going on. And there was no place for actually, investing our body, mind, and wealth and creating multi-million fortune out of it. And Baba says, I create this opportunity for you children so that you create your fortune. And if we understand this much, then we would become the instrument to open centers. We will become the instrument to, to be the foundation of running the centers that are running in this, that through which seva is being done. And Baba says that being in conflict, and I was just thinking about this conflict, being in conflict with another human being is so damaging that when you are in conflict, then you are always, what is the sign of conflict? When you start worrying about who is right rather than what is right, that is what gives rise to a conflict. Because if you really cared about what is the right thing to do, then sooner or later you will resolve the conflict. Because truth is very simple, and truth, even if it starts with conflict, slowly, gradually, the truth will prevail. And you will feel that no, whatever this person is saying is right, because maximum seva will happen because of that, or maximum good is going to happen because of that. But if you are egoistic and it is about who is right, then that conflict can never be solved, because everybody says I am right and you are wrong. So if you are egoistic, ego is the reason for conflict. And even even when there's a Lokik family or an office or anywhere in the world, you see, the reason for conflict is ego. So it's not about how do we find the solution, or what is the good thing to do, or what is the right thing to do, or what is the thing that gives us maximum result. But when you're stuck with, I'm saying this and I am the bigger one and you need to listen, not because I'm saying the right thing, but because I am the one saying it. So then the conflict happens. And I was just talking to one brother, and he runs a company, and he was telling me that, so he says that I'm an architect. And of course, I've hired engineers from IIT and management people from IIMs in my company. And then, everybody is very high headed, because everybody thinks, I'm an IIT and I'm from IIM, and I also think I'm no less. I also did my graduation from a very big school, and I'm a big architect. So he said, then what happens is, I am the owner of the company, and then sometimes there is this air in the boardroom where you feel that somebody is not respecting you, and they should, because you are the owner of the company. So I said, as the owner of the company, you should be very interested that the profits of the company are highest. And you have hired them to increase the profits, not to feed your ego. So just look at it from that standpoint, that you have hired those people and you want to maximize profits. So just keep your ego aside and don't go into, I am saying this, so this should prevail. But look at everything objectively and see what would work best. Listen to them and also try to understand their standpoint. And then there'll be an environment of cooperation and not conflict. And then he said, it's very difficult to keep your ego aside. So I said, that's when, you need to take the help of soul consciousness, practice of soul consciousness and yoga with Baba. And only then can you have no conflict. And even, for smooth operation of centers, so just opening a center is not enough, or being on the same page while opening the center is not enough. But Baba has given us a very good law, which is Balak So Malik. Yes, and Balak So Malik is the way you deal with conflict in a place of seva, in Baba's seva. And what is Balak so Malik? So whenever there is a decision to be made, you have to know that I also own this place, right? So you are also the owner of Baba's home and Baba's seva. You are the stakeholder. So you are the Malik. So you give your opinion, or whatever you have to say, you say it with full authority. And then when the decision is made, so, everybody will give their opinion, and then whoever is in authority, because everybody cannot be in authority. Yes, so one person is an authority, and then they make a calculated decision out after listening to all opinions. And then after the decision has been made, you become a balak, you become like a child accepting that decision. Then you don't go into my suggestion was better, and what I was telling, if they had done that, then they would be the seva would do well. So don't go into that. So Baba says that for seva you need surrender, you need clarity, you need to feel that you have a stake in it, you need to take ownership, and then you also need to be very humble. You have to keep your ego aside, and then you don't have to come into conflict. And I think that seva, Baba says that doing seva is the biggest fortune, but doing it right, needs a lot of yoga power, and it needs a lot of grounding if you really want to do it right, and only then the fortune is created. Otherwise, you start with service and you end up doing disservice. And Baba also talks a lot about not being a pandit today. And who is a pandit? Whose words and actions don't match. So Baba says seva is not just about giving gyan, but in order to give that gyan, or do spiritual seva, you have to have a lot of power of remembrance of Baba. You practice soul consciousness, you become pure through Baba's remembrance, and only then you have the power to serve others. Because seva is about teaching everybody the truth and the way to have yoga with Baba. And you can teach that only when you are an embodiment of knowledge and you have yoga with Baba. So Baba says, don't be just a pandit, handling out gyan to everybody else and not following that same gyan. And Baba says, you have to become Maya Jeet. A lot of, when you on this spiritual path, whether you are a practitioner or a sevadhari, a lot of hurdles will come, but you have to cross those hurdles in Baba's remembrance. Otherwise, those hurdles, they will cause you to have trauma. And then with each trauma, your state will not rise, but it will get depleted. And then with that depleted state, you can't do seva. So you have to have a lot of clarity about your aim and understand the path and pay very good attention to being soul conscious, being in remembrance. Only then can you go ahead in your Swapurusharth and also in seva. Okay, Om Shanti. Anybody wants to share anything, please do. And I would encourage everybody to share something. I'm sure you are Baba's child, knowledgeful. You've got something to say. Please.
Om Shanti Didi.
Om Shanti.
Today Baba says, seva done in body consciousness also creates conflicts.
Of course.
And when we look others as brothers and sisters, again it's body conscious.
Yes.
So Baba says, be in awareness of only soul brothers.
Yes.
Only then can we collectively cooperate with each other.
Yes.
And make our fortune.
Correct.
That's right kind of seva.
Correct. Correct.
Thank you, Didi. Om
Thank
Shanti.
you. Om Shanti. Yes, please. Om Shanti.
Didi, today Baba is talking about that we must always be serving with our thoughts, words, and deeds, and also with our body, mind, and wealth in such a way that we receive the return of that from Father for our future 21st birth. And for that, first of all, I need courage, and first step should be taken by me, and then I will receive Baba's help in this task. And we have to give Baba's introduction to everyone.
Correct.
That is also our seva. And today's blessing is also very beautiful, Didi. Baba is talking about the balance of my qualification
Yeah.
and the aim and objective. And for that, I should have that um, um, the balance of Swachintan and Parchintan. I think
Yes.
so. Thank you, Didi.
Thank you. And balance means you have to eliminate parchintan, just do swachintan. And Baba says, don't be trikaldarshi of all the waste, because when something is a waste thought comes, we analyze it too much. So Baba says, no, use your analytical power only for positive, purposeful thinking. Okay.
Yes,
And also determination. Baba says, have the power of determination. Okay. Thank you. Om Shanti.
thank you, Didi.
Anybody else would like to share something? Okay. So from tomorrow, I would like everybody to share. So do whatever you have to do for that. But please, otherwise, I'll take names and ask you. Okay.